Hello, this is your host. Today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of tourism. Do we really benefit from tourism, or does it do more harm than good? Let's take a look at both sides and decide for ourselves. The most obvious advantage of tourism is that it brings in money. People spend money on flights, accommodation, food, souvenirs, and experiences, and all of this contributes to the local economy. It creates jobs in all sectors, from restaurants to hotels to souvenir shops. Tourism also brings in money to local communities through taxes on hotel rooms and other tourist-related activities. This can help to fund important public services such as schools and hospitals. In some countries, tourism is the main source of income. For example, in Thailand, tourism contributes around 12% to the country's GDP. That's a huge amount. Without tourism, many countries would not be able to provide basic services for their citizens. So in terms of financial benefits, tourism is definitely a plus. Another advantage of tourism is that it gives people the opportunity to experience different cultures. When people travel, they have the chance to learn about other ways of life, customs, and traditions. They can try new foods, meet new people, and see amazing places. This can help to broaden people's horizons and make them more open-minded. It also helps to create understanding and respect between different cultures. If we can all learn to appreciate each other's cultures, then we will be more likely to live together in peace and harmony. A third advantage of tourism is that it can help to preserve cultural heritage. When tourists visit historical sites and museums, they learn about the history and culture of the place they are visiting. This helps to raise awareness about the importance of preserving cultural heritage for future generations. In addition, the money that tourists spend on cultural attractions often helps to support the upkeep of these sites. So tourism can help to protect important cultural heritage from being lost. However, there are also some potential disadvantages to tourism. One of the most common criticisms of tourism is that it can be exploitative. When tourists go to a developing country, they often take advantage of the cheap labor and resources. This can help to create a cycle of poverty because the profits from tourism often go to wealthy investors rather than the local community. In addition, when tourists take advantage of the local people, it can create tension and conflict. When there is a lot of poverty and inequality in a place, it can lead to social unrest and even violence. So while tourism can bring in money, if it is not managed properly, it can actually do more harm than good. Another potential disadvantage of tourism is that it can damage the environment. When tourists travel, they often use a lot of energy and resources. This can damage the natural environment and contribute to climate change. In addition, when tourists go to natural areas, they can disturb the wildlife and plants. For example, when tourists go hiking in a national park, they may disturb the animals and plants that live there. Or when tourists go swimming in a coral reef, they may damage the coral. So while tourism can bring in money and help people to learn about different cultures, it is important to consider the potential impact on the environment and to take steps to minimize any negative effects. In conclusion, there are both pros and cons to tourism. The decision of whether or not to allow tourism is a difficult one. There is no easy answer. We need to carefully consider the potential impact on our economy, our culture, and our environment. What do you think? Should we encourage tourism, or should we try to limit it? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments below. Also, please remember to support the channel, and thank you for watching. See you next time.